Hello everyone, I welcome you all to today's discussion video wherein we are going to take up slot 1 of CAT 2023. So, you are watching this video since you are preparing for CAT, of course, alright, it goes without saying that you are preparing for CAT. So, in the CAT preparation overall, in the series of videos that you will see, CAT 22, CAT 23, CAT 24, CAT 23 probably was the toughest. So, thus you can also witness that by the decreased cutoffs that we had for this particular year. So, when you are solving, when you are discussing, when you are following this particular video, please have that thing in mind that the questions were slightly tougher than the other CAT examination papers. The way in which we will conduct this class is we will be taking up the questions one after the other. We have it in a certain order, and along with the option choices wherever they were present in the exam. So, we will be solving them as one would solve it in the CAT examination. Wherever possible, I will try to give an alternate. Let us get started with the first question. So, if you look at this question, it says if x and y are positive real numbers, so they are all positive numbers, that's what we know, such that logarithm of x square plus 12 to the base x is 4 and 3 log x to base y is 1, then x plus y will be. So, this is a question clearly based on logarithms. For answering it, you need to have basic idea, the basic process, basic methods, basic formulae pertaining to logarithm. Let us get started with this question. Let us see how do we answer this. So, if you look at this, x and y are positive real numbers such that logarithm of x square plus 12 to the base x, he says, is 4. So, if I try to convert this logarithmic equation into exponential equation, indices form, how do I do that? Take this x on the other side. So, this will become the number inside the logarithm will be equal to the base on the other side will become base of the index to the power 4. So, something like this. So, this is what I will get. Now, here in this equation, please note if I put x square equal to t, then since x is a positive real number, x square definitely will be non-negative value, x square, that means t will be non-negative value. So, when I put this equal to t, what does this become? X power 4 will be t square minus x square will be t minus 12 equal to 0. Factorize it and solve for t. So, when you factorize it, the factors will be minus 4 and 3. So, t minus 4 into t plus 3. So, that means t will be equal to either 4 or negative 3. But as we just said, t equal to negative number is not really possible because t is square of a positive real number. X cannot even be 0, right? So, t cannot be negative and hence can I say t equal to minus 3 is not possible. So, t is 4. But what is t? T is x square. So, square of a real number is 4, positive real number. So, that means can I say the value of x can only be 2. This is what we conclude. So, minus 2 of course we will not consider because we already started by saying x and y are positive real numbers. So, x is 2. So, the moment I know x is 2, let us go for the second equation now. So, 3 into log 2 to base y is 1. So, let us take this 3 on the other side. So, log 2 to base y is 1 by 3. Take y on the other side. So, 2 will be equal to, number inside the logarithm will be equal to the base to the power 1 by 3. Cube on both sides. So, 2 cube will be equal to y power 1 by 3 whole cube, which is y. And hence can I say the value of y, you will get it as 8. Now, after following the due process of logarithmic equation, dealing with logarithmic equation, we get to know the value of x also and y also. And what is the question? The question is x plus y is how much? So, clearly we can see 2 plus 8 is going to give us 10. So, option choice 4 in this case, in this particular slide will be the correct answer. Second one, let us go for this. So, this is also from your algebra part, right, so involving surds and all, right, roots. So, square root of 5x plus 9 plus square root of 5x minus 9 is equal to 3 into 2 plus root 2. Then, square root of 10x plus 9 is how much? So, the question definitely looks daunting. It is not that easy, that direct, at least by the look of it, right, because here I have 2 square roots. So, I need to eliminate that and then I need to find some value involving square root again, alright. So, the question does not seem to be Too easy. Let's try to see how can we solve it. So if I take that equation as it is, something 3 into 2 plus root 2. So if I want, I can take out root 2 common also. So if I do that, if I take out root 2 common here, what will I be left with? I will be left with 3 into root 2 into root 2 plus 1. That is how I can write it down. Now let's square on both sides of this equation. So when I square on both sides, this is a plus b whole square form. So it will be a square, which is nothing but 5x plus 9, b square plus 2ab. 5x plus 9 into 5x minus 9, it is of the form a plus b into a minus b. It's a square minus b square, which will become 25x square minus 81. So this will be equal to square on the sides. So this will be 3 root 2 square, which will be 18 into root 2 plus 1 whole square will be root 2 square plus 1 square plus 2 root 2. Now let's simplify. This will cancel out. So 10x. If I take this entire expression on the other side, right, so let's see what do we get. So I'll get 18 into, I can take out probably root 2 common, okay, or let me just write down 18 into 3 plus 2 root 2, 3 plus 2 root 2 minus this entire thing. Like this. Now on both sides I can cancel out a 2, let's cancel that. So 2 will go here, 2 will go 9 times, 2 will go 5 times. Now again square on both sides. So when I square 5x, it will be 25x square. So this will be a minus b the whole square form. So what will that be? A square. So 9 square will be 81. Let me write that directly. Into 3 plus 2 root 2 whole square will be 3 square plus 2 root 2 square plus 2 into 3 into 2, which will be what? 12 plus b square minus 2ab. 2 into a is how much? 9 into b. So clearly we can see that on both sides we can cancel out 25x square firstly. Let's do that. Let's cancel out 25x square. So what are we left with finally? Observe, if I take this entire expression, this entire term on the left hand side, this will become plus. So 2 into 9 will be what? 18 into 3 plus 2 root 2 into root of 25x square minus 81. And here on the right hand side I will be left with 81 into 17 minus 81. So it becomes 81 into 16, which will be what? 1280, 1296. 81 into 12 will be 960, 972 root 2. This is what I'll be left with. Okay. Let's see if we can simplify this more. 972. If I look at 18 cancellations, let's try to cancel out 18. Let's see if we can do that. So this is 36 square. 18 will definitely go. 18 will go 72 times. And 18 will go here 54 times. 18 is cancelled. Now I can take out 18 common again from this right hand side. So I'll be left with 18 into, this will be 4 plus 3 root 2. And here's I'll be left with 3 plus 2 root 2 into this entire expression as it is. Okay, let's continue here. So if I take that 3 plus 2 root 2 on the other side, so I'll be left with what? So root of 25x square minus 81 will be left with 18 into 4 plus 3 root 2 divided by 3 plus 2 root 2. Now let's rationalize the denominator. So denominator is going to be 1 here, 3 square 9, 2 root 2 whole square is 8, 9 minus 8 is 1. So ignore the denominator. So this will be what? 18 into, now when I multiply these two brackets, 4 into 3, 12, 4 into 2 minus 8 root 2, 3 into 3 plus 9 root 2, minus, this is 3 into 2, 6 into 2, 12. So this 12 and 12 will cancel out. 9 root 2 minus 8 root 2 will be 1 root 2, which is 18 into 1 root 2 is 18 root 2 basically. So this is 25 x square minus 81 square root. Now you square on both sides. Now please understand, we have come a really long way from that very complex equation involving 2, 3 square roots to now one wherein the square root is only on one of the terms, terms involving variables. Square on both sides. So you will get 25 x square minus 81 will be equal to, this will be 18 square 324 into 2, 324 into 2 is 648 and minus 81 becomes plus 81. So this will be what? 729, and we know 729 is nothing but 27 square. So when you take the square root, here, one second, I will continue on the next slide. So this will give us what? This is 5x whole square minus, that is 27 square is 0. So a minus b into a plus b. So either this is 0, that is 5x is 27, or 5x is minus 27. So that means x is either 27 by 5, but let's wait here. Let's wait for a moment here. Now what is the question being asked? If you notice, root of 10x plus 9. So if 5x is this, what will be 10x? Double of this. What will be 10x plus 9? 63. And what will be square root of 10x plus 9? It's going to be root 63. And by the way, root 63, when you look at it, it's 9 into 7, 3 root 7. If you do the same thing here, please notice the problem you will face. So 10x will be minus 54, very big negative. 10x plus 9 is still negative. When you take the square root, this is not defined, because you don't deal with non-real numbers. So thus will not consider this value. So thus the value of root of 10x plus 9 will be 3 root 7. So which option choice is it? It is second option choice. That's going to be our correct answer. I hope we are clear. Very, very lengthy question, alright. I doubt if we can do it in like 2 minutes, and there were many such questions that we had in CAT 23 papers. Let's go for the next one, third one. If x and y are real numbers such that x square plus x minus 2y minus 1 the whole square is equal to minus 4y into x plus y, okay, then x minus 2y is how much? Okay. On the left hand side I have sum of two squares. On the right hand side I have a term involving a negative sign. Let's bring all the values on one side. So when I do that, x square, now notice when I bring this entire thing on the left hand side, I will get plus 4xy plus 4y square plus something x minus 2y minus 1 the whole square should be 0. Now please notice the first three terms. Is this not of the form a square plus b square, b is 2y whole square, plus 2ab, 2 into 2y into x. So this will become simply x plus 2y the whole square plus this is x minus 2y minus 1 the whole square. Now please notice, since x and y are real numbers, the square of the real numbers can never be negative. So that means sum of two squares is becoming 0. That can only mean one thing, both the numbers should be 0. So hence x plus 2y equal to 0 and x minus 2y must be equal to 1. And what is he asking us? Find the value of x minus 2y. Can I say my answer will be 1, option choice 2. I hope we are clear with this. So this was a question which is based on, which is modeled on the questions that we give in our ratio proportion variation chapter. So if you have practiced our material, you would be sure to find out this particular approach. The probability of getting it right would increase multifold. Thus, practicing the right kind of questions is essential, right, when you come for exams like CAT, and particularly CAT 23. Next one, let n be least positive integer such that 168 is a factor of 1134 to the power n. Okay, let's stop here. At the first sentence, let's stop. If 168 has to be a factor of 1134, so can I say this 1134 to the power n, so can I say 1134 to the power n must include 168 in it? Now let's try to understand what does 168 include, what is it made up of? So if you look at 168, it's 8 into 21, it's nothing but 2 cube into 3 into 7. This is what 168 is made up of. And let's also try to understand what is 1134 made up of. 1134, when you look at it, it's 2 into, it's 5, 1, 3, 6, 7, 567. This is nothing but 2 into, and this is nothing but 7 into 81. And what is 81? So this is 1134 basically is 2 into 7 into 3 power 4. Now please understand, if 168 has to be a factor of this, so can I say this must have a 168 in it? So this 1134 to the power n should be 168 into something. Now for this to be 168 into something, so can I say if I want to talk about power n, so everywhere you will get power n. This is what will change, right? 1134 to the power n will be this. Now if you want this expression to be a multiple of 168, clearly can I say the minimum value of n should be 3, because see 7 is already taken care of. In 168 there is only 1 7, here I will have at least 1 7, because I see in the previous, if you remember 1134, it had 1 7, 2 into 7 into 3 power 4 it was. So there is definitely 1 7, no worries about 7. What about 3? I need only 1 3, here I have 3 power 4, more than what I need. And what about 2? This 2 power 3, if I want it to be a multiple of 168, but I have only 2 power 1. So thus can I say the minimum value of n from that result, can I say minimum value of n must be 3. It can't be less than that. So we get the least value of n. Let's read further. If m is the least positive integer such that 1134 to the power n, if m is the least positive integer, he says 1134 to the power n is a factor of 168 power m. Okay, let's try to understand what is 1134 to the power n. We did that already. What is 168 to the power m? Let's try to write that down as well. So this power m will be 2 power 3m, 3 power m into 7 power m. This is what it will be, right? Now what does it say? If m is a least positive integer such that this number is a factor of this number. So if this has to be a factor of this, that which in turn means this will have to be a multiple of this, and already I know the value of n must be 3. In this question, the value of n turns out to be 3. If I put n equal to 3, suppose, so this will become 2 cube, 7 cube, and this will be 3 power 12. This 3 power 12. Now please note, if this 3 power 12 has to be included under that condition of this number being a multiple of this, this is a factor of this, that would mean this is a multiple of this. So can I say the minimum value of m, if I put n equal to 3, and n equal to 3 is the minimum value, right? So this will be at least 12. When I say 168 to the power, when I say 1134 to the power n, the power of 3 is going to be at least 12. So if you want this number to be a multiple of this number, power of 3 I am talking about, can I say the value of m has to be at least 12, because n is 3, it will have to be at least 12. So thus can I say the minimum value of m based on the discussion that we had must be how much? It is 12. It cannot be less than that, because he says let n be the positive integer such that 168, least positive integer such that 168 is a factor of 1134 to the power n. So we say that n should be 3. That's the first conclusion. Minimum value, n should be the least value. I said n is 3. Next, m is the least positive integer such that 1134 power n is a factor of this. So can I say based on this discussion, because here I'll get the power of 3 as 12. because n is taken as 3, the least value of n is 3. So, this will be 3 power 12, and for this number to be a multiple of that, the power of 3 here should be at least 12. So, the value of m, the power of 3 m must be at least 12. Once you get the minimum value of m and n, what is he asking us? What is m plus n? Clearly, as we see, it's 15. So, option choice B, or second option, is going to be the correct answer. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So, it says the equation x cube plus 2r plus 1 x square plus 4r minus 1 into x plus 2 equal to 0 has minus 2 as one of the roots. If the other two roots are real, then the minimum possible non-negative integer value of r is, okay, non-negative integer value. So, when I say non-negative, it could be 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. So, we want the non-negative minimum possible value for r. Okay, let's try to work this out. So, he says this equation has minus 2 as one of the roots. That would mean what? If I substitute minus 2 here, it should naturally satisfy the equation. So, when I substitute minus 2, let's see what do we get. So, minus 2 whole cube plus 2r plus 1 into minus 2 whole square, which is 4, plus 4r minus 1 into minus 2 plus 2 should be 0. Now, when you solve this, this will be minus 8 plus 8r plus 4 minus 8r plus 2 should be 0. So, here the unfortunate thing is, see, the entire purpose of substituting the value of minus 2 and all was to substitute and get the value of r. But right now what has happened here, please note, so when I am trying to find the value of r is getting cancelled out. So, r is cancelled out, that means this approach that I started off with is not really a valid approach. So, this substitution and then finding the value of r is not yielding results. So, we need to think of something else. Now, please note, if this x cube plus 2r plus 1 x square 4r minus 1 x plus 2 equal to 0 has minus 2 as one of the roots, that would mean, can I say, if minus 2 is a root, then x plus 2 will be the factor, yes or no? Then x plus 2 is going to be the factor, and then I will have the remaining part as quadratic factor, quadratic expression. Now, can we determine this quadratic expression? Probably yes. Now, how do we do that? Let us try to understand. Observe this. So, I will try to divide the given cubic by the divisor x plus 2, which is a factor. So, I should eventually get 0 remainder. So, when I divide x cube by x, the first term of the quotient I will get is x square. I will write it here, x square. So, x plus 2 into x square will give us what? X cube plus 2x square. Now, subtract. So, this will cancel out. Now, subtract, what do you get? 2r plus 1 x square minus 2x square will give you 2r minus 1 x square, plus let us bring one term below. Now, again you divide the present dividend, the largest term of the present dividend, by the largest term of the divisor, that is x. So, 2r minus 1 into x square by x will give you what? 2r minus 1 into x. Let us multiply. So, x into 2r minus 1, x will give you 2r minus 1 x square, plus 2 into 2r minus 1 will give you 4r minus 2 into x. Subtract. So, when you subtract this, 4rx will cancel out, minus x plus 2x will give you plus x, and bring down this term plus 2. Now, x plus 2, x by x will give you 1. So, that means the quotient that I will get here will be x square plus 2r minus 1 into x plus 1. So, we can divide it like that, right, and we can get the quotient, right. Or one more thing that could have been done here is, I am just giving a thought here, one more thing could have been, the first term here should be obtained by dividing x cube by x, that means it can only be x square. Also notice, the last term here should be 1 because this is 2, 2 into something should give you 2, So that should be 1. So that means the first term and the last term are fixed. Now middle term, try to figure it out by doing some calculations and all. We could avoid that entire division process. Anyways, now let's continue. Now this has x equal to minus 2 as the root, which is one of the roots of this, and this will have two roots, suppose alpha and beta. According to the question, they are also real. The roots are real. So when do this quadratic equation, if I put this equal to 0, when does this quadratic equation has real root? Only when its discriminant is greater than or equal to 0. So that would mean what? Discriminant of this will be b square minus 4ac, c is also 1, should be greater than or equal to 0. Simplify. So this will be what? 2r minus 1 the whole square will be, or we can think like this, right? This 4 is nothing but 2 square. A square minus b square greater than or equal to 0 would be a minus b into a plus b, should be greater than or equal to 0. Simplify. This is 2r minus 3 into 2r plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. So when I solve this, see one more thing, minimum possible non-negative integer value of r. So I want non-negative integer value, that means r cannot be negative. Even if it's negative, I won't consider that. If r is not negative, can I not remove this directly? Because this term can never be 0. For this to be 0, r should be minus half, I believe, right? It's not possible. We are not looking for those values, so ignore this. So, or what you could do is, if you solve these two also, the critical point for this is minus half. The critical point for this is 3 by 2. Now, when you draw the curve, here, the curve would be like this. I am sure you know this process, and I want this expression to be positive. That means this region and this region. So overall, the value of r when you solve it will be, so r can belong to minus infinity to minus half, or it can belong to 3 by 2 to infinity. Now I want minimum possible non-negative integer value, so there is no point looking here because these are all negative values. So in this interval, what is the minimum possible integer value? So can I say the value of r, the minimum possible non-negative integer value for r will be 2. So thus the answer will be 2. Okay. Sixth one, if alpha and beta are two distinct roots of the equation this 2x square minus 6x plus k equal to 0, such that alpha plus beta and alpha beta, so sum of the roots, product of the roots, are distinct roots of equation this x square plus px plus p equal to 0, then the value of 8 into k minus p, this k is the unknown, p is the unknown, will be how much? I will take the first equation. This is the given quadratic. Alpha and beta are two distinct roots. So that would directly mean what? Alpha plus beta, sum of the roots will be minus b by a, which happens to be 3, and product of roots will be c by a, which is k by 2. We'll get this directly. And later on he says, if alpha plus beta and alpha beta are distinct roots of this. So the second equation that we have are, now for this particular equation, sum of the roots, that is alpha plus beta is one of the roots, plus alpha beta, should be equal to minus p, and product of the roots alpha plus beta into alpha beta will be equal to product of roots is p. Now let's substitute the values here. Alpha plus beta is how much? Alpha plus beta is 3 plus alpha beta is how much? K by 2 is minus p, and here alpha plus beta is 3 into alpha beta is k by 2 should be equal to p. Now by using these two equations, we can eliminate p here, right? We can replace p as 3k by 2. So when I do that using these two, so 3 plus k by 2 is minus p would be minus 3k by 2. So, when you take it on this side, it will be what? 3k by 2 plus k by 2 is 2k is minus 3. So, the value of k is minus 3 by 2 we get. And once you get the value of k, you can also figure out the value of p naturally. So, what will p be? P will be 3k by 2. So, 3 into this is minus 9 by 2. So, once you know p and k, what is he asking us? 8 into k minus p. So, 8 into k minus p, when you try to figure that out, k minus p will become plus. So, this will be how much? 8 into 6 by 2, which is going to be 24 here. Okay. So, 8 into k minus p, we are getting the value as 24. Okay, there is a small error here. So, please notice the value of k equal to minus 3 by 2, if I put it here, I will get the value of p as not minus 9 by 2, please note, it will be minus 9 by 4, right. So, if p is minus 9 by 4, then my answer of course will change. Let us see what the new answer should look like. So, thus this will be what? 8 into k minus p, k is minus 3 by 2, minus of minus will be plus 9 by 4. When you do this, you will get 8 into 3 by 4. So, when you solve this, you will get the answer as 6, which is the correct answer.